Hey guys, I'm Pezi. Finally, we will be beginning the series, and this is the result that we'll be getting at the end. This is the game we'll be working on. This is the game we're going to be explaining everything on. So, let's get right into it. If you don't have Unity downloaded, there's a link in the description for a video on how to download Unity. But if you have Unity downloaded, make sure Unity is open, and let's begin the series. So on the basics video, we're going to be talking about the different objects and the different features of Unity. So this is the file to create new projects, to create new scenes, to save the scene, build setting, build and run. If you go to build settings, this is when you're done with your game and you want to export your game to iOS, Android, or whatever platform you want to. So you just click build. So there will be other videos to explain more of this. If you need more of these videos, please comment in the section. For the work of the day, the basics on how to make the game that you just saw, I'm going to be using the scene view and the game view a lot, so you should know what scene view and game view is. Scene view is where the game objects are idle. Yeah, they are just there. You can edit all the game objects in the scene view. Scene view is just there, like it's idle, yeah. But the game view is the one that goes live. This is what the user that is playing your game sees. This is what the game view is. The game view is what the user sees. Normally it's like this, so you can just left click and drag, and you can see you can change the position of it to anywhere. So I want to snap this here so that it will be easy to see live. So let's go to our hierarchy. Hierarchy is where all the game objects are placed. Inspector contains the properties of the particular object, and this project bar is where all your assets and all your images, sound, all that you're using for the game, all the files, they will be here in your project. And the console is what contains the errors, and if you will have errors in your game. So go to the hierarchy, right click, let's create a game object. So when you right click, you slide down, create the game object. So when you go to your right, let's click sphere, double tap sphere. When you double tap, it zooms into the object. Remember, this is your scene view. You can see the object however you want to see it. That's why I said it's not live. But on the game view, you're seeing the sphere in the middle, because this is how the user sees it. And this is the camera. This is the camera, the main camera. As you can see, when you click the main camera, it changes the inspector. You can see the transform of the main camera. Transform means the position of the main camera. You can see the main camera object itself, and you can also see audio listener. That one's not for today. Directional light. This contains the lights of the scene, the lights of the game, the light that is default. Yes, this is the sphere that we just made. So this is where it is. So there are objects here, there are tools here for us to use. There's a hand tool, that's if you want to drag your scene. So Control Alt left click, and you can move. Yeah, so if you go to this one is to change the transform of the objects. As you can see, it has the same colors as this transform here: red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green, blue. Sorry, jeez. So red, blue, and green. So you can move it to the z-axis. Let's turn this. You can move it to the z-axis. Let's forward. You can move it to the right as x, or up and down as y. So you can also come here to reset. All of these have resets beside them. So transform, reset. The sphere has the transform component, sphere component containing its shape. You can see there are many other shapes here, but we need a sphere, so we pick sphere. Then it also has a mesh renderer. Without the mesh renderer, you won't see the sphere's color, like not like color per se, like the object itself. You won't see it. If I turn this off, you won't see it. If I turn it on, you see it. So that's that. Then sphere collider. The sphere collider helps the sphere to collide with other objects in the game, in your whole game. Yes. So if I duplicate Control D to duplicate the object, Control D. Yeah, so we have two spheres now too. You see the second sphere, we double tap, and it's in the same place. Why? Because some of them spawn in the same position at 0, 0, 0. So let's change the sphere to, let's say, to the x-axis. Let's say 5. Yeah, so we see. So let's okay. It's not showing the game view. Let's do 3. Yeah, so spheres on the left, spheres on the right. Yeah, so now if I bring this sphere here you can see that there are green lines. These green lines on the sphere are the colliders. If I should off this, you won't see it anymore. Yeah, it darkens. It means this can happen. It can pass through this other object, but if it has a collider, it won't pass through. Let's add physics to these two objects so that we can see them happen live. Before we add physics, let's add materials. We don't know how to add colors to the objects. There's a video for that in the link in the description. So first of all, you go on your project, right click, create material. When we create material, we name this material, let's say red. Then we come to the inspector. Inspector always carries the properties of every object, as I told you. So at the inspector, you come, you see red. Let's change the color to red. Yes, that's what we're doing here for now. Then we'll drag the red to the game object in the scene view. If you do it in the game view, nothing's happening because you can't work with the game view. You only work on the scene view and then check the game view, which is live, to see how it looks to the user. So you drag your material to the game object. Yeah, you drag to the other one. Yeah, so that's great, looking good. Now let's add physics to the two objects. We click on sphere, come back to the sphere. Hierarchy is where you choose your game objects. Never forget to choose your game objects on the hierarchy. So you go to your sphere, you scroll, add components. Can you see this? Add components, all these are components, as I told you. So we're adding physics. And how do we add physics? We add rigid bodies. Rigid bodies are what is the component that carries the physics in the whole of Unity. Yes, that carries physics of that particular object. See the gravity, the gravitational pull, yes, all those things, yes. So add components. We type rigid body. We're not using 2D, we're using 3D because the game is 3D. So yeah, rigid body, not 2D. Rigid body normal. So rigid body. Well, I've added it for the first sphere. And the second one, add components, rigid body. Rigid body meaning they have physics. So I'm adding them to the shapes now. And if I press play, what do you think is going to happen? And once the game starts, since there is no object here, they are going to fall because they are gravity is acting upon them. So let's check that out. You see, they're falling, they're still falling. So let's add a ground. So create 3D object, cube this time. When we create a cube, we double tap to go to where cube is. Then we scroll in, scroll out. That's how you zoom in. Just the scroll wheel. Yeah, in, out. So remember, we change this hand tool, change to the hand tool to go to drag the scene view so that you can see clearly. Scroll out, drag, scroll out, drag, scroll out. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to click our camera and drag it back because it's too close in the game view. We click our camera, we go to move to, click our camera, then we drag our camera to the right. Okay, no, that's too much. Okay, let's drag it backward. Okay, then okay, that was great. Then we're going to tap on our cube and change the scale of X to say 5, and let's say 10 so that it will be wide. Okay, we need a ground, remember. Then we change our Z to 10. Okay, that's a good ground. Then we carry our camera up, click on camera and drag it up. Yeah, you see it's moving in the game view direct. Yes, that's what we want. That's what we want. So we drag the cube backward. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Then our sphere, we drag it upward, and then we drag this other one upward. So now, since there's a ground, what's going to happen? It's going to drop on the cube. Exactly, it's going to drop on the cube because there's a ground. So yes, that is the simple physics. Yeah, that is simple. Yes. So let's duplicate. Let's make plenty cubes. Let's make plenty spheres, and see what will happen. Yes. Yeah. Let's duplicate this. So if I press play, let's see what will happen. Oh, we see some physics, don't we? Yeah, so let's create a material. Let's add some more physics. Create material, physics material. Let's change this to, let's change the bounciness to 1, and then change bounce combine to maximum. We want to make this object bounce. Remember, there's a link to the video in the description on how to make objects bounce. So we're about to make all these objects bounce. So maximum, let's increase this to 0.945. Yes, let's reduce that to 0.945. That's a normal constant that I know that makes the object bounce on a steady level. So to add this material to the object, drag and drop, as we all know. As you drag the red and dropped it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To check if they're actually there, remember what's making these objects hit each other. What's making these objects collide with other things? The colliders. On the sphere, we have the sphere collider. Now we check material. What material is there? New physics material. That's the material we just made. So let's rename this to bounce. And you see to rename that too. So bounce. So on sphere, material, collider, bounce. All the spheres have the bounce. So that's good. So it should be bouncing now. We should see some bounce. We should see.
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
So let's delete some objects so that we can see clearly. Okay. Yeah.
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
So yeah, that's it for the physics. So now I wanted to delete all of that. Then create a cube. Change this to 4. 4, yes. And then change your z, the scale of the z. That's to affect the scale of the object. The scale of z to say 100. Yes, change it to 100. Then change the y to say 2. Sorry, 0.6. Say 0.4. Let's go with 0.2. Okay, that's good. Looking good. Our camera. Okay, let's drag our camera backward. This is to change the view of this scene. You can go Y. Y means go to on top, or you just right click in the middle. Now you can see the different angles on how you want to see them. So I want to click right. Yes. Then I zoom out with my scroll wheel. Then I take my camera to the beginning of the floor, the ground. So I drag my camera backward. It's in the game view, it's going back and forward. Yeah, in the game view, it's walking back and forward because I'm dragging it left and right. Yeah. So yeah, this is good. So we drag it down. We drag it up again. Yes. Our camera. Okay. Let's change the X to 0 so to be in the middle. Okay, cool. Now we'll make a sphere. Sphere. Then we'll change the. Okay. Let's move our cube forward instead. Move it forward. Okay. So now let's move our camera to 0. The Z should be 0. Yes. Okay, that's better. Let everything start from 0. Let everything start from 0. So bring the camera down. Take it backward. Okay. Now we can see a sphere. Click on the sphere. Move to carry it up. That's great. That's great. Now let's create another material. Let's just create another material. Let's name this ground. I want this to be orange like it was in the game here. So we go to orange. Yes. Then we drag and drop this. Let's rename our cube to ground. Ground. Rename our sphere to ball. Ball. Okay, say player. Yes, let's rename it to player. Player. So on the ground we drag our object. Yes. Then on the player we drag a red to the player. Okay, let's change. Okay, it's looking good. Let's change this again. The color is not bright enough for me. Okay, that's okay. Then we drag our camera to arrange the game view to the right. Okay, then we drag it upward. Drag it backward. Okay, let's move our player forward. Okay, this is good. This is good. So now that's where we're going to end for today. I hope you understood, and if you have any questions, please comment on the comment section. Any question you have. So this is where we're going to stop for today. We saw how to use each of the tools here: the move tool and the rotation tool to rotate the ball. But nothing will change since the sphere, I mean, it's rotating itself. Then we saw the scale, that changes the scale of the ball. As you did here, you change the you did the y 0.2, that, and we can change the x, say 5 to go on the x-axis, the z forward, it to go forward. Let's say 100 is moving forward. So that's not what we want. So 1 1 1, yeah, so it comes back. So that's it. We saw this, we saw the scene view, we saw the game view, we saw the inspector that carries all the components of the particular object. The player object, which is the sphere, has the transform, the sphere, the mesh renderer, which takes the picture of the object off, the colliders, which help it collide with the floor. Oh, we forgot to add physics to our player. Okay, let's add physics. Let's say rigid body, and let's add the bounce material to make sure our player is bouncy. So okay, so this is the end of the video. Before we close, let's check if this is actually working, if our player can bounce. Let's carry it up. Let's press play. Our player should be bouncing, and that'll bring us to the close. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you guys. That's what we're going to end for today. Make sure to keep watching. The next video is going to contain the programming, and I know the programming is going to be crazy because I'm going to be using C#, because that's what we'll be using to make the game with Unity. So thank you guys. Please like and subscribe, and all your questions, please ask me questions in the comments later, guys.